Hey everyone, Irit here with another process video for Pink and Paper, and this month I will be creating two layouts using the Cocoa Vanilla Boys Rule collection, but of course girls rule. So that's the thing. I have two girls and I fully intend to use this collection with their photos. I could have probably also made a photo, like scrap a photo of my husband or my gorgeous nephew. I have two nieces and one nephew, and he's newer, so he's just a little bit older than Lily, so 2.5 years old. And yeah, but you know, he's not my kid, so I don't want to put his face on YouTube. And yeah, with my husband, yeah, I could, but I think this collection is just, you know, really fun to use, and I don't think, well, I talked about this in my share video, so I also have a video showing you exactly the items that I got to play with this month, and you can check that out. And I just don't, I think we should forget about those traditional, you know, boy colors and girl colors, and there are just colors, and you know, we should use what we love. And I really don't think it matters. I don't think there's such a thing as a boy color, and I think, you know, boys can wear pink and girls can wear blue. I know this is revolutionary stuff, people. This channel is super revolutionary with its scrapbooking and all that groundbreaking stuff. So I basically pretty much from the beginning had this basic idea of my design. I just wasn't sure about the exact placement and details, but I knew I wanted to use this background paper. It's fantastic. I love it. It's just one of my favorite types of paper to use as a background because it is not too, you know, it's very kind of tone on tone muted color scheme, very light gray with the white, but it's still really interesting, so much fun. You know, I love using white cardstock. I use white cardstock a lot, but honestly, I think this looks just so much more fun and interesting. And yeah, I really love these kinds of paper. And I also find, like, with a lot of collections, you know, sometimes the papers are like so busy, and just give me these types of papers. These are the ones that are easy to use, that are just, you know, they work with kind of everything, and I just love this yeah, paper. So you can see all of the products in the blog post and of course in the Pink and Paper shop. So I wasn't, at the beginning I thought about using the chipboard words there, the "you're the best" or "awesome" or whatever, but then I decided I wanted to go for like more these softer colors, like the softer blues and pops of green that are also in this collection. And I think for my next layout, I think I will go for all the black and white items. So this is also a way to kind of make things easier for you. Choose a narrow color scheme and stick to that. And you can always break that rule later in your design, but especially in the early stages of creating a layout, it really helps to narrow down your options and choose, you know, like a limited amount of supplies to work with. So thankfully in the ephemera pack there are the words "cool kid." Thank you for not just putting "boy" there, so I can use this also to document my kid. And I have just two really cute photos of Ella that I took. We went together to this fair that turned out to be kind of a bust because there was really nothing for kids there. I did eat vegan ice cream, but yeah, my daughter wasn't. They just didn't have vanilla. I don't think she really cares if it's vegan or not. But yeah, they didn't have vanilla, and she's in her vanilla stage. What can I say? Hopefully in the future she will come back to the dark side and worship together with me, our Dark Lord, the cocoa bean. So if you are a Seinfeld lover, you know that reference. And Tanya, If you're not, then, well, you're missing out on so much. Anywho, I also used a couple of the frames. So there are a couple of these frames also in the chipboard ephemera pack and then also in the regular ephemera pack. And they are really, really fun to use this way. I really like them. So you could, cut your photos down and fit them exactly to this frame, but this is easier because you don't have to figure out any, sizing issues with your photos. And I actually like the way it looks better. I think it's more interesting. I think it's just super, super fun. So I matted the photo on the left side with one of the cut apart sheets that came. There was this pretty pattern that I wanted to use, like this gray with white stars, and the piece of paper is actually too small for my photo, so I kind of patched and created a frame from a couple of pieces of paper, and you can't really see that. So even if you use like smaller scraps, you can still see what I'm doing here. I just had to move it because I decided to change the placement of my photos. But yeah, so that's how I created this photo mat, and you can't tell. So I got to use the pattern that I wanted and make it work also for my photo. So the reason I moved the directions is because I have this thing, and in the photo on the right side, Ella is looking to, like, her face is turned to the left side, and I thought it just looked better if she was kind of turning her face, in the direction of the center of the layout and not away from the layout. So it's a theory that it just looks, no, I think it really does look better. And I mean, here it's a little bit questionable because she's kind of covering her face, but usually if you have a photo of a person turning to a certain direction, then your eye tends to go with the direction that they are looking at, and you want your viewers' eyes to go to, like, into the layout and not outside the layout, if that makes sense. So usually if I have a photo of someone looking to the left side, I will put that on the right side of the layout so that they are looking into or onto the layout. It's very complicated, I know. So that's why I moved it around. I just wanted to explain that. And I added some stitching around my background. I think it adds a lot to, it just frames the whole layout. It's a great detail. I love adding now stitching with black thread. I really love it. Creates some contrast. You can do white, but the background is very light as it is, so I think black works better here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop everything up, like using some foam, and just add dimension to everything. I'm using a couple of chipboard pieces, but most of this is just, cardstock weight. And because this is not a very layered, busy layout, I really feel that dimension adds a lot, because you can see now the word cool, you can see it's glued with the foam, and you can see the shade or the shadow that it casts. And I think that adds a lot. It just adds a lot of dimension. And also, if you are on a design team, or if you like to share your layouts online, and I think this is a great tip, because it's a great way of using basically the same supplies. You don't need any extra supplies except the foam, but it looks a lot better. It looks a lot more interesting. I just think it just looks significantly better when you pop things up, especially when you're gluing just ephemera, like cardstock weight ephemera, on your background. Adding some foam adhesive really, really makes a difference. So that's my humble opinion. Now, I actually didn't add any journaling to this. I probably should. I may do that with just writing around the frame. I have done this many times in the past, and I think that would work well with this design. Or another option would be to kind of print or handwrite or use a typewriter to write my journaling on just regular white cardstock, and then cut it into strips and adhere it at the bottom below the Cool Kid area there. That's what I would do. But for now, I'm just adding, I don't have like actually a story here. I just really like these photos of Ella. It's like really, really cute, and I wanted them to be in an album. So I'm just playing around with these arrows, trying to kind of get the whole thing to be balanced. And I do like, eventually I managed to find a placement for everything. And so I kind of feel like you get this circular movement because you have the photo on the left and then the arrow that points to the photo on the right. And then below that you have the Cool Kid and then the other arrow that points back to the photo on the left. So I really feel kind of your eye goes in that circle following like those elements. And yeah, you want that. You want your viewer's eye to move around but stay on your layout. So I think that works really well. And now I'm just going to go through the embellishment that I have in the from the collection and use a bunch of stars, like ephemera cardstock weight stars, and also I think one sticker and some chipboard, and add those as embellishments. Again, I'm staying away from all the black and white elements in this collection. I'm going to use them, or I plan to use them on my next layout, but for this one I'm really staying more with the softer colors. And that like ephemera, that die cut that I'm playing around with, I love that thing. I want 10 of those. I really, really wish there were more included. It's something that I could probably make myself without too much trouble, but this one is fantastic. So I did use it on this layout, but I admit, tell you a little behind the scenes secret. I did use, you will see this cute scalloped die cut in the finished photos, but I didn't glue it to the layout because I kind of want to use it also on my next one. So maybe I should just print the photo of the layout with it and not the and put that in my scrapbook instead of the layout. I really, really like it, and it's gray, so in theory it should also fit my next layout, which I plan it to be mostly black and white. So I hope you know this video. I'm mostly walking you through my process. I got a comment that from a lovely viewer that she kind of also misses me talking about my process. And yeah, I understand that, because in my recent videos I've been mostly chatting about like really, really random stuff and kind of completely ignoring what I'm doing. So I wish I could, you know, please everyone, but I also noticed that a lot of people are really, really enjoying the chatty videos, and I love reading your comments. I read every single comment. So please, please, I try to, you know, love, press the little heart next to each comment, just to show you that I'm actually reading everything. But even if I don't press that little heart, I promise you that I read every single comment. So I really, really enjoy, you know, hearing your stories and your experiences and what your life is like and how it is with your kids and how old they are and how it was for you. So thank you so much for sharing that with me. That is definitely a huge reason of me sharing my, you know, private stuff with you, because I want to have that feeling of community and, you know, just tell you more about myself so I can also learn more about you. It's not just, you know, I just want to hear myself talking. It's really not. So thank you for that. And I'll try to mix things up. Yeah, to be honest, I enjoy chatting more, but obviously this is a scrapbooking process video. So, you know, if you're watching this, I'm assuming that you also scrapbook and you want to also learn a bit, or, you know, listen to other people's decision-making process and thinking behind their design. So this is my finished layout. I loved making this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.